So thank you very much, Internet, for correcting us. The Internet shockingly enjoys correcting people. Did you know that?
No,
It's okay when they're right.
Yeah,
though.
that's
I'm okay
actually
with that.
appreciated.
Yeah, they like correcting people, speaking for a large group of people who are okay with that. Yeah, you know. Things along those lines. Open letters to us.
Yeah.
Man.
right. I forgot about that.
Really?
That was another one.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
That's another great post.
Real quick, going back to the logo, I won't get into details of it, but someone posted something, I think, on the subreddit and said, this is an open letter to Achievement Hunter. Jeff was telling me about it, I didn't read it. But it was a long post, basically, about how, like, the intros are ruining everything, and Achievement Hunter's doomed because of the intros.
Makes the fans sad.
That's what
I read it.
That's what
I read that.
It was like ruining, literally, the intros were ruining the fan base and making us sad, and they didn't even know why we were doing that to them. And I think it was supposed to be either yesterday or today. And we were talking about, like, the turn. Jeff said in 15 comments, every single comment was like, fucking Christ, guy. Like, come on. And then he just deleted it.
Yeah.
It's just like, Jesus, it's a fucking picture. Okay?
No, didn't you know that that's what all people watch for? They watch for the intro and nothing else.
That's the guy with the tattoo right there. He was the
Don't get a tattoo. This is why we tell people that. Okay? It's not that we don't like it, but like we're not Disney. Okay? It's gonna change.
Yeah.
Right?
Even Disney changes. Mickey looks completely different from the beginning.
It's true, but I mean the ears are
Yeah.
there. You get the ears. That's good.
Have you ever seen like
they change his ears? You're all fucked.
Have you seen the old Mickey costumes where it's like looks like someone who would murder you?
Yes.
Like
like
what's next?
Like Five Nights.
Yeah, like really messed up ones that are like spooky.
Yeah, changing graphics. It's good. When I saw Pepsi change their logo, I was just in the store. I was like, cunt!
Oh, really? Because usually what I did was, I remember the first time I saw they changed the design for Mountain Dew, I just went, ah! And I screamed at it in the store.
Threw it in the air.
Yeah. No!
Punching.
No!
You see the big display, you just go tackling. No! You climb like the tower of soda cans.
This doesn't tickle my innards.
Yeah.
Ram.
That was their slogan for a while, wasn't it?
Tickle your innards.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Do the do. That was up for a bit there as well.
Yeah.
I've done it.
No, there you go. There's
We'll
Creepy
do it
Mickey.
again.
Look at Creepy Mickey.
Oh my
God!
Wait,
Minnie looks worse.
It looks like they put Pluto's face on the center of his face. Hey, kids! Look how fucking close together his eyes are.
What do you dream about?
Welcome to the happiest place on earth.
Have you met any pirates? Sorry.
Did you see Walt Disney like comforting the child? No, it won't kill you. It's okay.
Don't worry about him.
What's on top of that? Imagine that costume with
Oh God! Why?
zoomed in.
Why would you do that?
Zoomed in.
And you can see the person's face
at his eye.
in the eye.
It looks like somebody hit him in the face with a fucking fire axe.
Oh, Jesus.
Also,
His
imagine
lips are splitting apart.
imagine that costume character doing the Steamboat Willie dance. Where it's like,
His eyes, like, they're kind of fucked up, so one's just like,
no, they're kind of, oh God!
Oh, Jesus.
They're kind of fucked up, so one is just always looking at you.
yeah.
Even if the other one
follows
waves.
I don't like
the
it.
room,
I don't like it at all.
Jesus.
Yeah. That was that. Oh.
Happiest place on earth, though.
How'd I get blood on my suit?
It's just
I use lemon juice! I ate Pluto! I don't wash it out!
it's just seeping out of me.
Good times.
I'm glad you brought that up, Jack.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's terrifying,
Christ.
man. And now the new ones, they have eyes that actually blink.
I know, that's
Oh
all
my
it's
God,
scary,
their
right?
mouths talk and
Do
their
they
eyes
control it,
blink.
or is it
I
just-
have no idea.
No, they're all robots.
It's like a
anyway.
tight.
Yeah.
They're in there like.
Oh man.
Jack's
Just
like,
a little tiny
I don't know
bit.
how they work. I don't know if they're Zoids. Are they alive? Do you just pilot them?
What it is the kids that used to be in the Small World ride. They've gotten to the age
They're
they
in the
have
suit.
to. Yeah, they're in the
Yeah.
suit piloting it.
I like to think that it's just actually a giant Mickey, and every now and again he goes to them. He's like, "They don't believe I'm real."
He goes
He
to the
just
frozen
stands
head
in
of
the
Walt.
mirror. He's like, I'll fucking show him.
He's like, "What am I?"
He goes to the frozen
Show
head of
Walt.
Walt, and he's just like, Walt, today's the day. He'll believe.
What? He goes to his grave.
No, like the frozen head that they keep
Man.
in the
Oh
park.
yeah, that's what they do with
Dude,
it.
Gonna show Walt.
I'll tell you, if you could see the people inside those costumes, you would not want your kids to get. When I worked there, like I worked at the Great Movie Ride in their break room because they would come out in front of our attraction and like do whatever shows and stuff. And their break room was on our second floor of our building, and so we'd see them all the time. They are the weirdest, creepiest people ever.
Well,
and it's like, no,
you don't really think about it. Like, oh, I'm at Disney World or whatever. Who else would they put in the costume?
Exactly.
Right? They're like, oh God, put this on your fucking head.
98-degree weather in a costume.
You animal.
Dude, that being said, those people work like 15 minutes per hour. Like they would go out, sign autographs, and then leave and take a break for 45 minutes.
Well, I'm sure.
Because they don't want to overheat. But it's like, that's like the sweetest job ever.
It's also why they get all the beautiful people to be like the princes and princesses that walk around like.
Those are called face characters when you actually see someone's face. So,
I've said before that for 2 years in high school, I was in a marching band. I was in a high school band.
Who'd you play?
Marching band.
Marching band.
Who'd you play?
The Mickey Mouse costume.
Trumpet? Dude, I played trumpet.
Did you?
Dude,
Fifth
same here.
through seventh, or fourth through
played
seventh
trumpet?
grade.
Yeah, I played
Never
trumpet.
any good.
So
ever.
freshman, sophomore year, I played the trumpet in the marching band, and we went to Disney World to play in their parade.
Sweet.
Fuck that. Like I was walking down whatever they call it,
Disney
I guess
Lane.
Main Street they call it in Disney, like in
Main Street,
Disney
USA.
World, in
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom or whatever. Like
seems very
horns, like
generic.
you would stop playing, you go. And just sweat would fly off your head. And we walked through Tomorrowland, like Tomorrowland's one of the places there.
Yeah.
There was a fucking dancing trash barrel, and I know there was, and no one else saw it. And they thought I was just suffering from heat stroke. I swear to God, in Futureland or whatever it's called, Tomorrowland, the trash barrel was dancing. It had legs and it kicks. And it
That's
goes
shocking.
Like this.
Usually it's so cool and dry in Florida.
Yeah.
Oh my God. We have like 8 layers on.
Not
the hat with
humid
the
at
little
all.
poof
Dude,
on the top.
I've been to Florida twice, and it's just like,
Yeah.
And then there was one thing I agreed to do where they're like, this guy's a saxophone solo at one point, right? You and this other dude are gonna lift him up on your shoulders.
oh, nice.
Right, and then he plays and you're dancing around playing and then like holding
You're
the thing.
holding him dancing and playing the trumpet?
And it sucked.
How many, were you Goro at the time?
No, you can do a trumpet with one hand. You hold it like that, you got the
I mean, physically,
Not comfortable.
sure.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, you can
saying
do
not
dude.
well.
But also what I didn't anticipate is I'm me, the other guy holding him up
I'm gonna
is
assume
like
he's a foot taller
5'9",
than you.
yeah,
Right,
right?
yeah.
Like so the dude's like this on top
So
of
the guy's
us,
got
right?
his dick on somebody.
Right? He's just like,
Are there photos of this somewhere?
yeah, I think so.
Oh, dude, I want to see those photos.
I'll try and find them.
That could be an extra life thing.
See, the thing is, like, it's crazy because I'm sure there were photos of it somewhere, but it's so before the time of, like, Jeremy Dooley. Like, it's so
Yeah, it'd be hard
damn
to
near
find it.
impossible
Yeah.
to find. You'd have to, like, find someone who has the photo and is a fan now.
Meanwhile,
or
though,
knows
people are
where
still
it
looking
is.
for that dancing trash barrel. They're gonna find it.
They
Yeah.
exist.
They'll probably find that before Jeremy.
Literally, we stopped. We like got to the end, stopped playing. I was like, "Did you see the trash barrel?" They were like, "Jeremy, you need to sit down."
You're
Like, I
glassed
swear to
over,
God,
pouring
it
sweat.
dances. No, seriously.
They're like pulling you out. No, it's real. I swear it's real.
I see a dance behind the background. I'm like, "Oh, there he goes!"
Mickey shows up. He's like, shh, just streams now.
The old Mickey in the closet with the old
with
Mickey.
his chloroform glove.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta say, like, every now and then
Oh,
you
it's
would
a
see,
gas
like,
that comes out.
Oh, that was a dancing. Look at it. There's a
Right,
dancing
there's-
trash
there
barrel.
we
Yes, that was him.
Oh my God.
I literally said they'd find it before your photo. They found
Yeah.
it in 18 seconds.
I thought, yeah, like I was watching the trash barrel move around and shit. I'm like, what? Because it was like going with the music. It was doing this.
I gotta say, one of my favorite times when I was working there is every now and then they would bust out old costumes for whatever reason. I saw Darkwing Duck pop up. I'm like, oh my God,
That's awesome.
Darkwing
Dude, that's
Duck?
cool.
And then like the Power Rangers would show up every now and then. It's like, how did that
Power
work?
Are they owned by Disney?
I don't know, but they were there.
Fuck it, the Power Rangers
At
are at
some
Disney.
I
point.
mean, who knows how it works? Power Rangers were Bandai, at least.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when I watched
enough.
it
Yeah.
fucking
And it
20 years ago.
Yeah, but it was fun. Like, I don't know, working there was an experience, man. That's if you can do it, if you can work in a theme
I just
park,
want to
go
go
for
there
it.
again.
Yeah,
Vacation.
I went when I was 2.
Yeah.
No, go now.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, that was also the cruel thing when you see like kids who don't want to be there, very clearly don't want to be there, and then the parents who spent so much money just dragging their
Yeah.
children. We're going on the rides.
Yeah,
and just
I mean, I'm sure
screaming
I was
at 'em.
fine. I just don't remember.
Or
it.
kids
because
who
my
aren't
brothers
gonna remember it.
I was saying,
Yeah.
but my
Exactly.
brothers were
Oh,
8,
okay,
8 and
that's
11.
fair enough.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah,
so it was
yeah.
more like for them, it's like we can't leave the asshole 2-year-old at home. But I just have, obviously no memory of anything.
Don't
Yeah.
take
You
a
went.
kid who isn't going to
Did
remember
I?
it there. Don't
Yeah.
spend all the money to
It's
take
not.
kids.
It's not worth it.
You might as well just put them in a box.
Well,
they'll
but that's the
remember
thing,
that
it
the
doesn't
same
really
way.
cost
Disneyland.
anything.
Make some noise.
It doesn't cost anything to bring a fucking 2-year-old.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah. There's,
Oh,
there's
well.
no charge.
costs something to bring
you say
yourself.
that. You say that because my sister is taking my 2 nephews, my 4 and 2-year-old nephews, going like in a couple months. So it's like
We also
can't imagine
took
doing
a
that.
fucking bus.
Ooh.
Oh,
Florida?
Yep, from Jersey to Florida.
God.
There was a toilet on the bus, and it was like, I mean, again, I don't remember.
It just goes onto the
It was
road.
like a 20, 30-hour bus ride or some shit.
My God.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, thank you.
Yeah, like I don't even know how it worked. Like because we didn't stop, so I don't know if they like switched off drivers or what.
They tag out.
Like I don't know.
Just doing trucker meth.
Yeah, but I think we just went right there.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, it was
That's
like
tough.
of course super fucking cheap. It was like part of the package and bring your whole stupid family
Yeah,
and ride
yeah.
the bus with all the other stupid cheap families. And we did it. We did it real well.
I
Nice.
went like when I was like 21, I think. We
Wow,
went
brag
there.
about it.
And we went to
was
what
2.
you do is you go to Epcot, and then you go around because Epcot has all the different countries,
You
right?
drink
Like,
around the
You
world.
drink around the world. So you go to
Absolutely.
each place, you get a drink, then you go onto Soarin', which is the ride that has a big screen and you're like
Yeah.
flying over it and to
And
make it look
Patrick
like,
Warburton.
which is narrated by
Yeah,
Patrick
it
Warburton.
is.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
the whole time I was in the thing drunk on Soarin' with all the other people, I'm going, all right, cadets, and we'll land over here. There's oranges, blah blah blah. And so it's like the greatest moment in my life.
Yeah, that's so drinking around the world. So what you do, like, you can either start in Mexico or you can start in Canada. Because initially, I know way too much about
Because
this.
the US is the
initially
center
it was
of the
no,
world.
I was literally going to start with the
It's
U.S.
true,
and then
actually.
go from there.
Much like the sun.
But then they
Right.
moved the U.S. to the other end, so you have to walk through everything to get to the U.S. So they
worth
literally
it, though.
that's why they did
just
it.
Go to the
Yeah.
US.
And so
You
yeah,
have to trudge through the shit to get to the promised land.
It's basically.
And so you-
said Disney. Said Disney.
Yeah, not me.
so-
Disney.
Say? Why the fuck would you even visit those other countries? We're right here. You're already here.
Donald Trump says build a wall.
I say not
Let's go on, little Jay.
oh my God. So the question is, do you start with the Labatt Blue or do you start with the margarita? And
Yeah.
so or which one do you end on? So I like to end on the margarita. It's always nice.
When you get to
taste.
Germany, that's the fun one.
Oh yeah.
Stein.
They do like a wine festival too, where they add in more countries, and you can't even make it
They
to.
just make them
They
up.
make 'em up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
you
for the
can't even
wine.
make it to the U.S. Like you can just get
Winetopia.
hammered by the time you're there. Although
Yeah, Pinot Noir con or whatever it is.
I will say, being drunk at a theme park is one of the most fun experiences you'll
Dude,
ever have.
You're
in
like,
your life.
Mickey's fake!
It
And all the
was-
kids walking by.
And then the robot making, no, I'm not. I'll shoot you.
It was probably like 2013, I think. Me, Lindsay, her cousin, I think Barbara was there, and Andrew, Andy, the H intern. We went to the Six Flags in San Antonio over the summer.
Oh, yeah.
And me growing up in Jersey, like I was 40 minutes from Great Adventure. So I'd go there all the time. And growing up, it was like standard protocol of leave super early, go to the sub shop, like the quick check, get subs, put them in the cooler, get drinks, go to Six Flags, be there for a couple hours, go out to the parking lot, eat your sandwiches. They're way better than the food there, and it's fucking way cheaper.
Super cheap.
And then you go back in. So everyone else is blown away by this, as I mentioned this. Like, well, let's get subs. And they're like, that's the greatest fucking idea ever in history. I'm like, right. But what I also did was I made a jug of Riot Punch. I put it in a cooler bag and filled ice in the bag and just left it in the car all day. We didn't touch it all day. When we came out to lunch, we started drinking it.
No.
At lunch, maybe we spent 30, like I just opened the tailgate in the car, or the back of the car, and we just like, there's no tailgate, but we just ate in the back of the car. And maybe 30 minutes later, Andrew was so drunk, he was lying on the parking lot floor, face down.
Nice.
So we go back into the park, and he's fucking wasted. And the first thing he does is he plays that game where it's like that wobbly rope.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
you
the
gotta
ladder.
climb.
Oh, no!
I think you have
Why?
to take your shoes off.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then climb up to the end of the rope, and he must have tried it like 6 times. And he was just so drunk. It was so fucking funny
that's
watching him get on like the first step and fall off. It's like another $5, another $5, another $5. It was
God.
fantastic watching him be drunk. in
Dude,
that
the
amusement
last
park.
time I went to Disney, I used it to get revenge on my dad.
Weird.
Because when
Alright.
I was
told us.
really little,
As you
when I was really little, they took me to Disney World, right? Like me and my sister and stuff. My dad took me on a ride that's not there anymore. It's called Alien Extinction.
Alien
I think.
Encounter.
Alien Encounter.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. They
Get your
turned it.
shit straight.
They turned it into like a Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, 636
what
or
it-
Stitches Escape, I think. Is
Yeah,
what
it's
it's
something like
Stitches
that.
Escape. Because what it is now is there's a tube in the middle of the room. You all sit there with like these straps over you, and Stitch is in the tube, and then like he escapes and the lights go out.
oh
You can-
shit, just like in the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can
Yeah.
feel him like jumping on you and stuff like that. It's like, oh,
like
I
blows
love
in your ear.
Yeah, and he like
Like
burps
barks
on you.
and
You're like,
shit,
oh, I
yeah.
love Stitch. What the ride used to be is there was a fucking like demon alien
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
in the tube in front of you, and he bashes out of the thing. The lights all go out, and there's people like, oh god, he's loose. Wait, what? Why does he have fucking wings? And he's like flying around the room and breathing on you and shit. And I was like 6. And my dad's like, no, I'll be fine. I'll be great,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So then I'm terrified of the dark for the next, like, 8 years. Then we go to Disney World, like, when I'm in my 20s and stuff. My dad's in his 50s or whatever. And I'm like,
Whatever, my dad.
I'm
is.
like,
Crazy
I'm
old
putting
guy.
this asshole on the Tower of Terror.
Oh,
he
nice,
hates
nice.
it. So we take him on. We're like, yeah, Dad, you just go through this thing and like,
yeah,
there's
there-
all alien encounter. Oh my God, look at that thing.
Yeah, that thing is terrifying.
It's like, and I'm like 7, right? And he's just like, oh, hell, I'm gonna
Yeah, so-
eat you.
This is the old one. This isn't the new one.
Yeah, now
The
it's
happy one.
Now it's happy little Stitch in there, right?
Yeah,
the
like,
glass
it's-
shatters.
They still
and-
try to scare the shit out of you, but it's like, oh, it's just Stitch, so who
Yeah,
cares?
he
It's like, I'm
crawls out.
startled, but it's
Yeah.
fun.
Like the
Yeah.
bars float over your shoulders, so they like hit you to simulate
Yeah.
that he's
Yeah.
like near you and stuff. And
Guy
it's,
doesn't
like,
come out and slap you around.
Right, yeah, he like blows wind on you like he's breathing on you. But anyway, so I tell my dad, I'm like, yeah, you just ride through. It's like this little like, haunted mansion thing. It's funny, and then you just drop once, and then you get off. And he's like, fine. You don't drop once. You drop like 4 or
Yeah.
5 times on
Yeah.
the Tower of Terror. So I get on that thing. We get to the top, and he's sitting next to me. He's like, I fucking hate you for this. I hate you for this. Like, I hate drops. I'm like, oh no, it'll be fine. The thing opens, right? You see the park, and you drop. And like, so he's screaming, and then it goes all the way back up to the top, and the whole way he's going, what's happening? What are you doing? What are you doing? What's going on with me?
I'm controlling everything.
Exactly. Like,
He
he's
gets
sitting
to
over
the
there
top, the
hitting
door
buttons.
opens again, he sees it again, and he goes, Jeremy, you fun! And drops again. We just kept doing it.
Dude, yeah,
He's like having a heart attack. I loved it.
The Tower of Terror is awesome,
yeah.
like, because what that does, a lot of those rides you see, they drop and that's it, That one goes up and down, and at one point it'll go down, and then go up, and then start going down as it's coming up, so you literally float above your seat for like
Yeah.
a good
That's cool.
second or two.
It's
It's
really
really,
fun.
really awesome.
That was
So-
fun.
Hell on you if you got hemorrhoids. though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
God.
want to
Just
ride
punishes
that
you.
because that is
That
brutal.
one's awesome, and the one right next door to it is the Rock and Roller Coaster, the Aerosmith
Aerosmith
roller
Rock and Roller
coaster.
That's fucking
That
awesome.
is probably
What's
the
in the
best
hey,
ride.
hey?
That's probably the best
Dude,
ride.
Jerry,
Dude, Ken Marino's
What's
in
up,
that
man?
ride.
I was gonna say Jeremy gave me a ride to work today.
Yeah.
it's
Oh, yeah.
funny because he mentioned like him and his dad as well, and
I sure did.
I can't remember exactly how he got onto it or whatever, but we were talking about like working out and going to the gym and this and that because that's what we do. We bro out,
Yeah,
we were
right.
just like
You
fighting
lift
each
today,
other.
you lift-
Yeah,
Yeah, we were
yeah.
just fighting each other the whole time while he was driving here.
Just drinking protein
Yeah.
shakes.
And he said something along the lines of about like going home or something, and I'm like, oh,
You were talking about your brother, and that's what brought
That's right. My brother's a big fat fuck, and I was mentioning that. He's fat.
That was the term.
It
yeah,
was
that he used.
because he is, and it was like this conversation where I'm like, I talk to my mother a lot, and she works out, because she wants to get in shape before she's an old piece of shit, because then it's too late, So I was like, I talked to her back and forth about that, and it's like this conversation about me going to the gym, and then she's like, I'll send you a picture of your brother, and then she goes, he said he couldn't take a picture because he would put you to shame. And I was like, that's funny because he's a fat fuck and he's out of shape and shit. So I'm talking to Jeremy about it, and he goes, yeah, this and that. Like, I'll get that when I go home. And I don't know really what I expected. Maybe like his mother or something of like, I thought he was going to say he goes home and like, oh, you put on weight or something like that. But Jeremy's like, yeah, I go home. My dad will be like, been going to the gym? Or what was the example you used?
I'll go home and my dad would be like, "Oh, did you lose some weight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I lost a little bit of weight." And he's like, "Oh, it's a good start." And stuff like that. Like, my dad, he's in such better shape than I am. It's ridiculous. Like I told Michael, like when the P90X things came out, he instantly got that, like all the tapes that like show all this stuff.
Right.
And then he keeps moving up. And I was not lying when I said I think his new one's called Hammer and Sickle.
Yeah, that's what you
Something
said.
like
That's
that.
what you said.
Like Hammer's like building muscle and Sickle's like abs or something,
Yeah.
I'm like, so he's always like doing all this shit. My sister like teaches those Zumba classes,
man.
like and stuff like that. So like I go home and I'm like, I've been working out. They're like, get out of here! What are you doing?
They lift you up and just throw you out.
My friends used to watch. Like we would go to my house after school, and my dad would sit on the couch like after he'd been working out or whatever, and he's like reading the paper and he just goes. Like while he's reading the paper and stuff like that. And then, like while we're on vacation and stuff, he'll be like, "See that? There's a line there now." I can see both of those.
That's
muscles.
awesome.
Oh my god! Shut up! I know it.
Jeremy had a comment that was something like, he was like, my dad's in way better shape than me, so he's going on about I need to work out more, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I'm just lucky he's an old bitch, so I can take him. I was like, just push him over and run away.
It's like Hot Rod, like you just bring your dad.
Exactly.
Apparently that's what it's like.
Yeah.
Yes. He comes home and he just starts fighting him.
He beats him, he can stay in the house for a little while
It's
longer.
Yeah,
the
that's
Boston
it.
way.
It
It
is.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
It's like a handshake.
It's just a punch
Just
to
a
the face.
fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
That's how it works.
God, I would be afraid to fight you. I think you would be scrappy. Like I imagine you.
I'm
would,
tough to knock down because I've got a low center of gravity.
Remember that thread from like a week ago? That was like,
who would win?
Seriously, like just asking in a dead serious fist fight, who would win, Jeremy or Jeff? And I was like, why? Why would they be fist fighting each other? Like, what does that mean?
I just walk in, I'm like, fuck you, Jeff!
And they just start fighting, just beating the shit out of each other. And that was the whole thread. It's like, oh, well, I don't know, because Jeremy works out more, and I feel like he's got more physical strength. Well, then you can't count out Jeff, because, Jeff seems pretty wily, too, and he was in the Army, so you gotta remember, he did go through basic training.
A ton of legitimate replies.
People are, like, making fucking cards and giving them stats and shit, and, like, playing with each other.
It's actually the next,
what are you doing?
It's the next Screw Attack death battle. It's gonna be Jeff versus Jeremy.
But in real life. That's it.
Put us in a
One
room.
will die.
Like, we're not animating this, just fight.
That would be amazing. Can you walk into work one day and just go, hey, Jeff, fuck you! That would be incredible.
I did do something like that
I would just start
recently.
clapping.
Yeah.
I don't know if it got into the video, but we recorded a Let's Watch in Quantum Break. And so we had the camera rolling and we had the audio going and everything like that. But then Michael and Adam Kovic were both in the room. And you guys have been drinking, like off doing something. And, it was off topic. You came in after off topic.
Sure.
So you guys...